All right, guys, welcome back to another video with Shaman J. We're talking about 1 week with the Samsung Z Fold 8 Ultra. Now, just for reference, this video has been recorded with the brand new, well, not so brand new anymore, Moto Razr, the Fold. And I'm using video enhancements this time, so you let me know what you think about it. But what you need to do right now is you need to open up your foldable phone and enjoy it in full view. So, 1 week. 1 week with this thing, and how has it been? Well, let's just say I'm having the expected experience that I thought I was going to have. And that's not bad. So let's start with the hardware. Now, obviously, I did not trade in the Fold 7. I didn't feel the need to. I got a good deal on this. And I just decided to go ahead and grab it because I wanted to get rid of an older phone than the Fold 7. So I got rid of my my S25 Ultra because I have an S26 Ultra. So S25 Ultra was traded in on this, and I had another credit or something like that. So I ended up getting a really good deal. I got about $1,400 off of this, no, $1,600 off of this phone, and I went on ahead and grabbed it. So that's the price and all that and how I got it. And I got to tell you, I'm impressed. The hardware on this thing is a little bit different than the 7. And if you have a 6 backwards, you can go ahead and upgrade now. I think it's worth it to go ahead and go to the 8 Ultra now. The naming convention is kind of silly, but I know why they did it. They did it because of this beautiful phone right here. And I think a lot of people are really enjoying the Fold 8. I'll be doing an extended look at the Fold 8 and why a person would probably want to grab that over this. But we'll get to that later. And also the flip side of that. But for now, this phone, I'm holding it like this because I want you to see Samsung have fixed the curve that was in the Fold 7. And I could just show it to you right now because the Fold 7 has like this curve where it just didn't fold flat. And you can clearly see it right there. See how it's kind of bowed a little bit like that. And Samsung fixed it. They got this new titanium hinge. And it's very clear right here. It's very evident right here. You can clearly see that they fixed it. The magnets in here are crazy. They fixed it. They made it flatter and just completely flat. So that's a good thing. But it's just another thing on the hardware that I really could appreciate them making some improvements and just really doing little tweaks to refine what they've done in the past. Now, this is the violet shadow color. This is a very beautiful color in person, folks. It's just one of those things you just got to see it in person. Over video, sometimes it looks black, sometimes it looks deep plum, and that's probably why I would describe it, a plum color that's really deeply integrated with black. And some kind of gray sometimes, real deep though. It's really a black and plum. It is a beautiful color. Let's just call it what it is. And I really like it. So fingerprint reader on the side here has been just the best. I often talk about this when I talk about foldable phones. The phone I'm recording with, the volume rocker and the power button are just way up here. And that just makes no sense to me. I'm glad Samsung has theirs in the correct spot, which is here. You can easily access the volume rocker. You can easily access the power button. Super simple. Clean, just like that. So the front of this is a beautiful display. It's what you know from Samsung. It is a narrow display because this is the narrower version. It's easy on the hand. If you're looking for something that's going to be easy to hold, then you're looking in the right place. This is definitely the phone for you. And you get to open it up into a full screen, and that just makes this even better. It makes me have a much pleasurable experience. And I'm one of those people that when I have a folding phone, I pretty much have it open all the time. And even if I don't need to open it for something, like if I'm just going to send a text message or something like that, I tend to use it this way because you just get more real estate, especially for emails. Now, if I'm in the car or something like that, or I'm somewhere where I'm trying to be real discreet, that is the pleasure of having it this way. You literally can just keep it like this and boom. Now, hardware wise, is not, they did some tweaks to it, but it's not like this major upgrade or change over the 7. But I'm glad that they made the enhancements to the hinge. For those of us, because there are people out there that have bought every iteration, and I'm one of those people, but there are some of you guys out there who have not bought every iteration, and you just coming to this now, you're like, whoa, this is amazing. Well, you know, I guess we are all pretty much test dummies if we buy every one every year. And that's okay with me because I can see the little tweaks, but you're not going to be in awe if you're coming from the 7. Not at all. Now, coming from the 6, you get the new hardware, you get the new design, you're going to be in awe. I guarantee you are. But what I would tell a person is Coming from the 6, if you can find a good deal on a 7, go for it. Go for it. I don't think you're getting that. As a matter of fact, I know you're not getting that much in many more enhancements to this 8 Ultra. You're looking at a different name, a tweaked hinge, a bigger battery, just things like that. Some things that definitely make it. And let's talk about that. When I talked about the battery life in this phone, some of you guys look on paper. You say, oh, no, there's no way. This guy's blah, blah, blah. He's a this, he's a that. But the reality is, folks, some of you guys are just using one phone. So all you know is that one phone, and you don't have all the phones that I have. And it's weird when people watch creators or influencers. I'll say creators. Creators actually use their phones, and they're giving you their perspective. It's not that influencers' perspectives are wrong. It's just that creators tend to either buy these things themselves or get loaner units or get review units. We do, but we actually just use the product. That's what we do. And the perspective that we give is sometimes it's a little bit like, let me say it this way. When I'm watching for someone who's looking at a phone, who has a phone that I like, I don't go to influencers. I go to regular creators, and I go to regular people on the internet who just happen to buy it. So when I say the battery life on this is better than the Razr, some of you guys get really offended by that for some reason. Don't be attached to all this material stuff, folks. This is just my perspective. Battery life is subjective. This phone matches the battery on the Razr. I don't know why that's such a shock to people. It's called optimization. Samsung has their software optimized to a T. I mean, it was a huge flop when it was TouchWiz. Well, unless it was a huge flop. Okay, it was a little bit of a flop. But they've capitalized on that, and they've definitely taken it in another direction, and they listen to the consumers. Let's hope Motorola does that. A lot of you guys are on Motorola right now hard, but how many more Razrs will Motorola bring out? How many more phones how will Motorola give up and throw in the towel like some other companies? How long will Motorola give you software updates? How long? All these things don't really matter to me, but I'm just saying in general, this phone matches and exceeds the Razr in some areas. And battery, for me, just happened to be one. This thing lasts for a long time. Now, aside from battery and hardware, the software obviously is tweaked, and Samsung has mastered the art of this software. They've just done it, as I was leading to software, they've just done such a great job on here. You can't deny it. And whether you like One UI or not, it is built. It is built out, and it can give you everything you need, and it's there. That's just how it is. So for those out there that, and that's coming from a person who actually prefers stock Android. I like a more subtle approach. My Pixel phones are just my favorite, which is why I like the Motorola software as well. But the Samsung One UI, it's really good, folks. This is a good, solid. They're capitalizing on it, and they're doing it, and they're building on it. But at the same time, they don't just do it. They have to sell another phone. So they really could do all these things to the Fold 7 and just not bring a phone out every year and just skip every 2 years. I think companies will make a bigger impact, and it will build more excitement if they skipped a year. Yeah, I really should, because people really aren't really getting a chance to enjoy their phones and settle in 1 year, because then they get the itch to buy the new one. And that is how the companies keep making the same phone and making it money off of us. So I like the battery. I like the software. I love the hardware. I love the cameras. Now, here's an area where I just opted to really dig in. I shot a video, a 4K 60 video that I'm going to produce to you guys. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I actually showed this in another clip, but this is such a strong, these cameras, this is where Samsung wins over a lot of other phones. Now, what I want to do is I want to see how well this phone does, just flat out, just in next to every other foldable I have. I can already tell you that the Motorola Razr cameras are better for video in some areas. Like, again, recap, if you didn't catch the beginning of the video and you're skipping around, this video is being recorded with the Moto Razr Fold, and I'm using video enhancement. So I hope you enjoy how vibrant and punchy it is. But Samsung has mastered the art of doing good portrait video and great HDR content, just regular content. They've done a great job at getting their footage out there to people. And I think people really love it. I think people really love it. This is a strong, I mean, look at how clear everything is. This is a great phone for recording video. Now, is it an Ultra? Should they have named it the Ultra? I say no. And as far as not just video, but photos and everything come out great on here. I think they've done an immaculate job when it comes to putting these cameras together. However, naming it the Ultra, and then, because I think what Samsung is doing here, they're battling themselves. They don't want to fight against the S26 Ultra. But the reality is there's a market for foldable phones people, and there's a market for slab phone people. There's a market for these people. A lot of people aren't cross-shopping if they're a slab person. Like if they're a person who has no desire in foldable phones, or they see them, and also these cost more. These cost more. So I hate that they call it, hate is a strong word. I really dislike that they call it an Ultra, but it doesn't have the Ultra cameras. Now it has the Ultra quality, but put all the cameras on there. That might sound crazy to some people or petty to some people, but the fact of the matter is this can't be an Ultra if it doesn't have the Ultra cameras. And what they'll do is in 3 years, put some more cameras on here. Let's change the name first. And then we'll, get some more money out of everybody. Then we'll tweak it and add another color, add another number. And then maybe in 2 or 3 years, we'll give it the cameras that everybody's, yeah. But the Ultra naming here is, I don't know about that. Let me clear these out. I got a ton of notifications. The Ultra naming here, I don't know about that. But, it has good quality. I'm not saying the quality is bad, but it doesn't have all the quality that I would like. The telephoto lens is great. The wide angle lens is amazing. And the main sensor is phenomenal. But take away this Ultra thing. Take away the Ultra thing and just call it like it is. It's another version of a Z Fold, unless you're going to give us these cameras. So a week with this thing, at the recording of this video, a week with it, I think Samsung has made their mark. And I think by introducing another version of a foldable phone and calling this the Fold 8, I'm perfectly fine with that. I think they've done their thing when it comes to the folding game, and they're just elevating their game, and everybody, again, needs to catch up. It will be, it will really be fire if Motorola brought out a small version like this, because Motorola is going to put the cameras on it. And Google brings out another version in this body style. Apple's got theirs coming, hopefully. I can't wait to buy that one. I don't care if it costs $2,500 or whatever it is. It's a new product, and I'm going to buy it, simply put. If I can get a good deal on it, which I'm pretty sure I can, with my discounts and everything, and if I decide to do it, I don't have any iPhones to trade in, because I'm not giving up my 17 Pro or my 17 Pro Max, not giving up my 13 Pro Max, not giving up any of the current iPhones I have. I'm just going to add on and use this foldable phone that Apple brings out. But Samsung, this is what you call comfort. This is comfort food. This is those, you want to get some potatoes, some cornbread and collard greens. You want to get some grilled chicken, get some beans, and you get a side of stuffing. You get some yams. You load up the plate, and this is what you have. You have comfort food. This is familiar, very familiar. And it's just going to draw more people in, whether they want to buy it or not. Samsung's goal, ultimate power here is their trade-in values. They kick it. They're the leaders of that, man. No other company does trade-in values like Samsung. No other company does it. Makes the process easy like Samsung. Like I walked into Best Buy and got this phone, gave them that stuff, got all the instant money, put it toward this, walked out paying a few $100s, whatever I paid. And this one right here was the same thing. I mailed in my Z Fold 6 and got this, and the trade-in process was done. Instant credits, everything, boom. Everything was done within like 3 days after I got the phone. That's good service. That's good service. Motorola can't do that. They can, they choose not to probably. But in the end, I'm excited for this phone. Wasn't going to buy it, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get it. I'm going to go ahead and get it. And I'm going to use both of these phones right here along with my iPhone and see how I like this. So This is a win to me. Again, and I know people who have the 7 are going to say, I would tell you, don't get this phone if you have the 7. I'm telling you, don't get this phone if you have the 7. Don't buy it. You don't need to. However, if you have a 6 backwards, now, like I said, get a good deal on this, or just go straight to this. Hopefully if you had the 6 or prior, especially if you had the 6, you went on ahead and traded into this. Why go to the 7? You can get the most money towards this. So hopefully you did that. Anyway, it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. A week with this thing has been a week with a phone that I'm very familiar with. I really like it. I love the form factor. I love this color. And I'm bucket naked right now. I'm team no case, but for some reason this D-brand grip has me hooked. It's really nice. I got a bunch more cases I'm going to be showing you on this. So, I mean, a ton of them. So stay locked, whether you like the price or not on those cases. But it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. A week with the beast, man. If you have an Ultra, you have a great phone. It's very familiar. No complaints. And the little small tweaks and improvements that they've done, it's cool. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.